welcome back to Sanity. Oh, no, that's the wrong
Oh,
show.
fucking shut up. No, no, no. We don't know them.
Ah, well,
What you actually meant was that's actually a good segue.
you you start segue then.
Okay, I need you to start the segue for one reason. I forgot the name of our podcast now. Is it something like spoiler alert, we have thoughts?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. How do we come about that name, Logan, just before we go any further?
Chat GPT.
See, I have been using ChatGPT at work, and people are amazed at ChatGPT. I'm like, look, this isn't like the perfect thing, but like, see if you just need like random bullshit, and you like say, give me 20 names for a podcast about movies. I'm like, I'm like, did that work?
Yeah.
Because why not? So yeah, we've done that. We'll just say it once. We'll say it quick. There's no animosity with us. I am still, there's no animosity with us with the gaming channel, but because two of the people on this podcast aren't really active gamers on the channel, we just kind of separated them. So this is a way
And they
to be its
wanted
own thing.
to expand the film podcast. So, I've not told you yet, Lee, but there's got to be a few things changing. We will have guests. We do have one guest in the works. And we'll try and get maybe one or two episodes each a month, because I know we've got the Oscars coming up in March. We'll probably do an episode on who do you think's going to win it, why, predictions, all that sort of stuff, just to get us a wee bit of extra content with us then reviewing certain
Expand,
films.
yeah, man, expand our network, and like I mean, I think the format's working quite good, but I mean, like we have a lot to say about a lot of different things, so who knows what it'll all transform into. But our basis will always be movies because that's what we love.
Plus, we also
That's
have
cool.
thoughts on everything, so it doesn't really need to be about films. It can be about anything.
Mm. We will try and do our best to be at least marginally informed of what we talk about. We will read several articles at the very least, and not just be like, "Here are some conspiracies we've heard." We'll try and be adults about it and do both sides of the story. Because we obviously don't want people coming after us online and like torching our houses or anything.
I mean, gets us the viewers. That's all I've got to say.
Oh man, God, I'm in a council house. I can't be having that. But yeah, that's cool. That's exciting stuff, Logan. So, is it going to be the Spoiler Alert Network, or do we have a proper network name?
We're just called Spoiler Alert. We have thoughts. So originally on your YouTube and your podcast Spotify, we're just called Spoiler Alert. We have thoughts podcast just because that was a bit easier, and no one's
I
took
was
that name.
actually going to ask: are we going to go back to Twitch, or are we going to find another platform to do live stuff? I love doing the live stuff, and obviously I know you like to put it up on YouTube,
Mhm.
edited. But I did enjoy the live stuff because I think we are particularly funny when we're live.
Yeah, that's true. You feel. We'll see.
I,
We'll see how a few of the episodes go, and if we expand it, we expand it.
I actually thought about we even just doing it live on Twitch, to be not Twitch, though. I think TikTok, because they do podcasty type things, do they not?
I've been to get like 1,000 followers or something. I don't know if that's changed,
Uh,
but with
we'll have to
America,
look.
that may go dead again. So who knows? Because
Whatever platform works out next, we'll see what's happening. We'll go to the next up and coming one, yeah, because there's always one that's coming up. Because that was the problem well with Twitch. Is Twitch is over, it's bloated now, and there's so many people on it. Not that I ever think. Whatever, that's fine. Topic for another day. Yeah, cool. I love the live stuff, so hopefully we get back to it. If we don't, we don't. I like podcasting and talking to myself on a camera. That's why I'm looking kind of slightly down the way because I'm looking at my own face.
have you watched any films before, like the films? Oh my god, one
Out
second.
with the
Yeah.
things I was commanded to watch. Weirdly enough, I love movies, and I watch films and then immediately forget. Like, see if they make no real impact on me, they just go out my head. I'm like, oh, I
Mhm.
watched that film. What was it about? Can't remember. Who was in it? Don't know. Um, I've been trying to watch a bit more TV shows. There's one on Disney the now, Paradise. It's got James Marsden in it, which is why I watched it because he was Cyclops.
Right.
Logan shook his head a bunch of times there, so I'm
I've
going to
seen
guess
it.
he's not watched it. I'm not going to tell you the kind of reveal. There's a reveal in the first episode. I'll say that it's an obvious reveal because they kind of like reference it throughout the episode, but it's
Mhm.
still like, oh, exciting. So it's drama mystery thriller, but with like a big kind of like twist to it. But I'm not telling you anything about it. But yeah, you get a chance to watch that. It's actually, I think it's only an 8-episode season. We should maybe, if we're going to do stuff, we should maybe watch that because that seems quite easy for us to watch. And it's a week by week thing as well. It's just because the movies are proving quite difficult for us to watch all the movies because we're all busy people.
Although we had a long couple of weeks for that, but
we had a fucking ages, and I was genuinely shocked when our good friend Sally, who's not with us tonight because she's busy doing grown-up stuff.
Yep. But she'll be back next episode, hopefully.
Yeah. We have to have a woman because it can't just be two white guys talking to each other. We've discussed this at length before.
Yeah. I watched Nosferatu. Oh mate, what a film!
Really, aye?
I say this with 100%. It's the best film of the year. I don't care what anybody says.
That is a hell of a statement to make right there. Best film of the year, January. Logan has fucking thrown the gauntlet down to every other film coming out this year and said, "Fuck you, this is the best movie."
That's the
exciting
quote.
Stuff.
That's my quote for the year. Nosferatu.
That is name of the podcast. Nosferatu for the win. Don't need to watch anything else. There's actually a load of movies. There's actually Marvel movies I'm really excited about coming out this year.
Fuck Marvel.
Nah, not unfuck Marvel. Right? They've got Thunderbolts, which I'm excited about. That looks great. They've got the Captain America 4. That looks good. They probably have some other stuff, but those are the two I care about.
But here's the problem.
Oh, what's the one with your fancy boy Batman? Something 17.
Mickey 17.
Mickey 17. I stumbled across the trailer for that when I was doom scrolling one day. It's like, that looks amazing. There's an episode of Doctor Who that's a very similar idea, but I was like, that looks great. Like, fucking, he's 3D printed all the time, and then they give him the shittest jobs, and he dies, and they reprint him.
It's based off a book as well.
Is it?
Yeah, because they'll try to sell that book more than before the film comes out.
Oh, I don't know if that means they've got a lot of faith in the film or no faith in the film. That could mean either one of those things.
I'm going to say, well, it's by Bong Joon-ho. The guy done Parasite.
There, Logan.
Snowpiercer.
Oh.
It's him. Okay, he's the one.
Parasite. Which Parasite? The Parasite where it's the poor people leeching off the rich people, or Parasite where it's the South Korean movie where there's a big parasite living in the sewers.
Is that not basically the same film?
No, one's a monster movie and one's the.
Aye, but I mean, at the end you had the old guy who was actually in the like kind of underground base, and he was a parasite.
I'm pretty sure Parasite came out recently. I actually never watched the South Korean movie. I heard it was really good and meant to watch it and forgot until you just mentioned it right there. I've heard nothing but good things. There's also another movie called Parasite. It was a South Korean movie, and it was like a big monster, and it was great. It was one of those films that you see it's great, and then that's it, just disappears. And like when you get these kind of strange movies from across the world, and then later on you find out there's 7 of those movies, you're like, what? And they just never bother to bring us the other ones. Okay, and it was on Snowpiercer.
Yeah, he's done a good few films. He done. I can't remember if he done Old Boy. I don't know if that's the same director.
Ooh, he done Old Boy.
I might be wrong. I've got a funny feeling he did, but I might be wrong on that.
Let's find out. Old Boy 2003. Directed by Park Chan-wook.
Okay, it's not the same person.
Nah. Oh god, what a good movie that is. It's mad that got a Western remake.
Doesn't exist in my head.
I've never watched it, I never bothered. It's like, even though they got Josh Brolin, but I think it was pretty good casting. Like, no. I don't care about this film. I'll tell you what I have been.
I watched it.
Did you watch it? Aye?
It's so shit. So at the intro they have to so the way that the original Old Boy, like, you can tell he's an alcoholic, but in the reboot they've got to try and force you to tell you he's an alcoholic without showing you he was an alcoholic. It was so weird.
What a weird thing to do. Like, why would you do that? So
I think just the way American writing is compared to what.
Yeah, they did a lot of stuff as well because they toned down the incest as well, didn't they?
Can't remember.
Because that was the whole thing at the end where it's like that was his real fucking gotcha moment. Was like, by the way, that woman you fell in love with, it's your daughter. Didn't see that coming. I was like, I'd watched it, and then years when I watched it again, I'm like, my brain's remembering this wrong because my brain
Aye.
remembers that being his daughter. I was like, that can't be true because that is fucked up. And then I watched it, it's like, yeah, that's what it is. I'm like, because he does something to like, does he not affect his own memory or her memory so she doesn't find out?
Aye. Is it no something to do with the brothers? You know, the one that kind of fucks with the memory?
He does something, and I remember thinking at the time, it's like that's even worse. Like he's like, I'm just gonna forget that. I don't, nope, no, thank you. So yeah, that was weird. A good movie. Also, as we've talked about a million times, the corridor scene, man, when he fights those people with a hammer. Oh,
See, that what
chef's
that
kiss.
has inspired a lot of films and games. I'm so happy with that.
Mate, they done it twice. Daredevil on Netflix season 1 and 2. They done the hallway scene, which was fantastic, really well shot.
Mhm.
And then they done like a stairway scene in the second season because they knew people loved it. I think they left it for the third one because they didn't want to just keep relying on it. But oh, absolutely
Even
fantastic scene.
Sifu, like the game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What
Oh
what
yeah, they do it.
a
That's right.
level?
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. That's a hard game, by the way.
I don't know
Uh,
where I stopped in that, to be fair. But aye,
I
it's
done the
really good.
first set of missions and it annoyed me that I aged as much. So I was going to go back and do it, but it's like, see, so I'm such a lazy gamer. Like, see if I can put it on easy mode, I put it on easy mode. Like, see, when I was young, I was like, I'm putting it on very super mega hard. So I got older, I'm like, I don't have time for this shit. I just want to see what happens. Easy mode. B Baldur's Gate 3 Explorer mode. Right? I'm
Oh,
like,
of
no,
course.
I should be able to kill everything. I just want to play the game. Like, I don't need to be like, oh, I'm stuck at this bit. Fuck you. I paid money for this game. I should be able to finish it and then go to work. Um, and I was like, it was so much like you had to learn the controls, and I was okay, but I wasn't very good. Like, I wasn't like doing the blocks and shit. I'm like, I'm not
Mhm.
playing this. It was good fun though. I will get back to
Aye,
it
it's,
when I'm retired.
I'm hoping they do another game with that because there's no a lot of martial art games like that anymore.
Hmm.
Because the last one
I
I could
think
think of was Sleeping Dogs. Don't know if you ever played that.
I looked at it. Was sleeping. Was that the hackery one?
No, no, Sleeping Dogs was like you were a undercover copper in Hong Kong,
All right.
and you have to like basically go back to like your old roots and all that, and you're meeting up with your old pals, and like you know all these kung fu moves and that.
And I also know kung fu. Fair enough. Um, no, that's fair play. I suppose these their games are there if you look at them, but
Aye,
what was I
some
going
of
to say
them
with
are just
seafood?
hidden gems now.
I think there's so much, man. Like I got a game called Bring Us the Moon,
Hmm.
and it's just basically a puzzle game, and it's got like a sci-fi story to it. I was sitting playing that, and I'm like, how long have we been playing this for? Like 4 hours. I'm like, holy fuck! It's literally go to area, solve puzzle, get story, go to the next area, solve puzzle. You know, but so much of that stuff exists now because people like you get like four people just like knock out a game, and
Right.
it just sits on like the marketplace forever. And I'll go buy it a million times. And then for some reason, I'll be like, okay, I'll put that in my wish list. And when they're selling it for $2.99, I'll buy it. And then and I'll buy it when it's $2.99. That's the only good thing about the digital games now is you just put everything on wish list, and you know eventually there'll be some massive sale. It's been trying to force me to buy Borderlands 3 for about 2 years now. It keeps having 90% off sales. I'm like,
You're waiting for
don't
that
know what player.
99%.
Yeah, I'm waiting for 99. Like beyond like it costing like $3.99. What am I expecting here? That's why I've not bought Space Marine 2. Because I know fine well that's the type of game that eventually you'll get like a 70% sale on.
Right.
I might have to wait 2 years, but I'll still wait. I don't mind. I can wait.
The only thing I'm playing is Apex Legends.
Oh, really? That's still a
I like
thing.
it's surprising a lot of people like I like the game's getting the dying on its arse because they don't want to fix the game basically. But I love that, man. It's fun.
Hmm.
It's
It's,
competitive as well.
it's always these things, isn't it? I know. Because people still play Overwatch. People. I mean, I think. What's it called?
Marvel one.
The one. Well, yeah. Apparently that's big. A few folk have said to me, "Oh, you should play this."
Aye.
I was going to say the other one, the one where you build everything. Christ, Fortnite. Apparently that's still massive. I never played any of them because I'm like I'm not good enough. I don't want to play against people. I don't want to get beaten up by 12-year-olds online. Not doing that nonsense. I played a bit of No Man's Sky. That's been out for years now, and I played it for. Oh, I was like, this is good. I can see you can get into this, and then my brain was like, this is a time dump, man. You'll be stuck playing this
Aye.
game for 3 years, and at the end of that 3 years, you'll be able to build like a house and a spaceship or whatever. But so what? Like you could also just play other games and do
Yeah.
that, and like not have to wait for 3 years. I'm like, okay,
You have to
goodbye,
be in
No Man's
Minecraft and
Sky.
that's it.
It's the problem you get with all this kind of stuff. All the big MMORPGs like your Warcrafts and that. Anytime you play a variant, and that's like, yeah, but that's just Warcraft, but it's lasers. That's just Warcraft, but it's spaceships. So how much time are you going to spend on this? You know.
Actually, since another title about thoughts, what's your thoughts on GTA 6?
Ooh, I am excited. They usually have quite a good story. So like Rockstar, their two main franchises, your Red Dead and your GTA. They take their time with it. They make good games, and it's usually pretty entertaining. So I think it's going to be good. I'd be surprised if it was anything but. I don't know what else they're going to cram into the game because in the last one they had golf, they had yoga. You could go like you can do anything you want. You can play darts. So like at this stage, what's left? Like what are they going to possibly put in this game? Can you just go and get a job? Just go and be a. I'm not going to do crime actually. I'm just going to go and be an office worker. Um, so
I'm hoping. I don't know if you ever played the Scarface game on PS2.
I know it, but I didn't play it.
So like that actually had bits that you can actually drug deal and like try and knock off the cash. So like if someone offers you like whatever much, you can say no, fuck that, I want like this much and that. I kind of hope they kind of be like some wee maintenance for that sort of stuff.
Well, that was something I found in GTA 5, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Was it not quite hard to make money while you played through the story missions?
Yup.
Like I feel like you didn't really make any big money. You done that heist, you done the bank thing, but you did get like an unbelievable amount of cash. But then when you finished the game, you got the big payout, and I was like, as a crime game, surely there should be a lot more of me getting like being able to do crime and making cash.
Mhm.
Like, so I thought it'd be more like that.
It was way worse on the online part because just everything was like costing millions and millions of dollars. But if you're trying to do like side missions, you'd only get a couple of grand unless you done the heists. But then the heists were kind of get a bit repetitive and a pain in the arse.
I never went online with it because I couldn't be bothered playing with other people. And also, you could buy money, and that offended me. See, like you could go and buy like $50 million. I'm like, fuck you, Rockstar. I'm not giving you 100 actual real life pounds so I can go and buy Ferraris in your game. That sucks. But I heard it was massive. People loved it, so what do I know? I heard the heists were fun as well, so maybe I should have. But yeah,
Kinda.
it's like everything.
It took them about 4 years to get the heists. That was the first thing they advertised about Grand Theft Auto Online was, oh, we've got to get heists in this. It took them about 4 years to bring that.
Wow. Also, just to go back for a second, Red Dead 2, I never finished that. I loved that game. And I kept getting sad because I knew Arthur was going to die at the end. So I just stopped doing the missions. I'm like, no, I'm just going to go hunting. So I just went hunting in that game for ages and just explored the map.
You missed it.
Every time I played more of the story missions, I was like, God, these missions are great. That was actually a funny thing I was watching recently. It was talking about when you play a lot of these games, it's fetch quest. Go here, do a thing. Go get me the fucking wizard's orb of Scanara. Bring it back. Okay, cool. Go get me the slightly different coloured orb from where else. And you're like, so go to place, stab, kill, shoot, get box, bring box back. Whereas with Red Dead, also like the missions were like exciting. It's like go and blow up a bridge. Get on the train and rob everyone in the car and then jump out onto your horse. Then you have to go to this place here and do this other exciting thing. It's like, see, that's the kind of missions I'm looking forward to in GTA because I always felt like they were like exciting missions. It wasn't just go to place, do a thing, stab, kill, come back. And that's what I think that's what Rockstar seem to do better than anyone else. Because even Fallout got very, very guilty of that by Fallout 4. And Skyrim, if you look at it, is effectively just a chain of fetch quests.
Here was my problem with Red Dead. I feel like it lacked a lot of stuff compared to GTA. Because I remember playing my first playthrough, I thought, oh, it's brilliant. But when I've done my second playthrough, I was like, you don't really do much until you get to chapter 5. And I was like, and that's like near the end of the game.
See, a couple of people said the same thing. This is just a reskin of GTA, but they've taken all the content out of the game. Because it's just big, wide open spaces. So they're limited. You can go camping, you can go fishing. But there's lots of things you can't do because they didn't exist in that time period. I'm like, yeah, I suppose you should be able to do things like go and rob a train if you want to. You should be able to go and like do all these like little kind of made up things.
I feel like the shooting, like the way you can kill people, like their physics, actually, like the way the body was and that. was great. Like the engine was good.
I definitely think they've obviously got stuntmen and dropped them off towers and stuff and in the mocap suits to see how that happens. You got shot in the hip, you fall this way, you spin as you fall off a tower. Again, they're beautiful games. There was a really funny story I seen online, which was about a young lady who'd been taking screenshots of places in Red Dead and sending them to a local news station, say, "Oh, look at this wonderful picture I've taken." And they were just putting up these pictures from photographers, and it was just her continuously sending in screen caps from Red Dead. So that's pretty funny. So good for her.
Well, I mean,
that's how pretty their game is.
Do you remember the controversy about that game?
Which was the controversy? Which one's that?
It was one Twitch streamer live streamed him punching the feminist. You can punch in the game, and it caused a lot of uproar.
Well, I mean, he chose to do that. You don't have to do it. You can punch a child in real life. You shouldn't do it, but you can. But I remember someone telling me about the if you can commit war crimes in games. Yeah, but you shouldn't. They can't stop you if you choose to. Yeah, what do you want to do? Catch the fist and break his arm? Is that more realistic? Just he pulls his arm off and she flings him across the map. What? You're not allowed to do naughty things. I don't. That's always controversy in all these games. There was controversy back in San Andreas because of the sex minigame, which they took out and you can only get to through mods. But yeah, that's look at this virtual sex. It's hey man, do you want to go on Steam right now? You can go and see some sex games if you want to see some sex games. They've got a whole section of it.
It's funny you say that. I remember BBC done a biopic of the rock star they making San Andreas, and it was Daniel Radcliffe. He was maybe one of the game developers in it, and it was really well done. It's talking about one of the boys was a school shooter or something, and it kind of caused a connection with San Andreas.
That's again, it's so when you think about how long GTA's been GTA. I can't remember. You won't be old enough to play the original GTA as well. Yeah, when it was top down, not 3D. Yeah, you'll have seen it, but you weren't there when it came out, kind of situation. Because I remember playing them and oh, this is great. It's all just boxes going on the stream, and then you played the third one, and you're like, what the fuck is this? It was mind blowing. Then obviously you got Vice City, which was great, San Andreas, which was great, GTA 4, which is weirdly, I know it was great, but I didn't really play much of that one. And then the fifth one came out and blew up everything again.
I guess
there's a lot of pressure on GTA 6.
With San Andreas and 4.
I think it was a long... you know what, we have the internet right here, let's find out.
Was that it? I remember San Andreas came out about early 2000s. I think 4 came out about 2010.
Oh god, I've just realised what I'm using. Ugh. Sorry, I apologise guys, I accidentally used Bing here, so it'll probably take me an hour to get this information. Right, so San Andreas came out in 2004, and Grand Theft Auto, it was only 2008.
Oh, I thought it was such a big time frame with him.
Weirdly, right, here's more crazier information. Grand Theft Auto 2013. So that was only 5 years, so they've doubled the development time, because obviously it is now Grand Theft Auto 5. Where are you, piece of shit?
It was 2013, did you say?
2013 was Grand Theft Auto 5.
Aye.
And here we are 12 years later. So they've more than doubled their development time. But I know they did they obviously done Red Dead 2, and they done all the online stuff for GTA 5 as well, which was a massive moneymaker.
The terrible remasters.
Yeah. It's we're not going to put a bullet in GTA 5 until they've milked that cash cow for all it's worth. Which, it's good business. But we're starting here waiting. Same with Skyrim, man. Skyrim's 13 years old now. I know we've
and
had
how many remasters does that have?
Fuck. It's one remaster. I think it's probably one release since we started this podcast.
Probably.
But yeah, and obviously they were working on Starfield for a million years, and then gave us a lackluster, more boring version of Fallout with nothing in it. So thanks Bethesda.
But they didn't improve when they done the Indiana Jones game. I've not played it myself yet, but I've heard some good reviews about that.
I didn't know that was them. It was free on Game Pass. I've not even looked at it. In that case, I will give them benefit of doubt. I'm always really wary. See movie tie-in games, I avoid them like the plague.
I love them.
Because when I grew up, any movie tie-in game was garbage. It would just be like the worst game you can
Yeah.
imagine. I think the first good one was Escape from Butcher's Bay, which tied into Pitch Black. Apparently, what's his face? Obviously, Vin Diesel's a big gamer,
Mhm.
and he was involved. He's like, no, this is going to be amazing, or else you're not putting me in it. And they're like, well, we need you. So apparently that was very good. But I just every time since I was like, why would I play this shit? I don't care.
I was
There you
going to
go.
say the peak Spider-Man games, specifically Spider-Man 2,
Spider-Man's always a good example, but I mean, Spider-Man is weirdly Sony makes great Spider-Man games,
but
but
not
anything to do
films.
with Spider-Man adjacent movies are all terrible. I actually think that'd be funny if we done that one month as we reviewed like Madam Web, Craven the Hunter,
Fuck,
and
man.
like Morbius. But I don't know if I could do that to myself. I'd have to watch all three of those movies. I have seen all the Venoms,
I haven't.
which are carried by the fact that I like Tom Hardy.
Mhm.
But like Craven the Hunter, I just couldn't bring myself to look at it. And Madam Web, I forgot it existed till I just mentioned it right there. And Morbius, as far as I know, is just garbage from start to finish.
Pretty much. But speaking of garbage, what
Ooh.
is our topic for this episode?
Ah! Well, yeah, we had an interesting thought, didn't we? Because I believe you landed in this idea because in January, this used to be the dumping ground for all terrible movies. So if a movie came out in January, it was released at the cinema, you knew it was trash. Because at the time, the studios had decided that no one goes to the cinema in January, which I don't know why they decided that. So they just put all the shit out. So we landed on that for what movies should we watch that are not very good. Our guilty pleasure movies.
Yep.
So I picked the dire piece of shit, which is Red Sonja, which Arnold Schwarzenegger likes to talk about. And he says that he used to threaten his kids that they'd have to watch it if they misbehaved. That he said it was 10 times they had to watch it 10 times in a row if they misbehaved. And he says that so they never give him any problems. He fucking hates this movie. There's a reason behind that I'll go into, but yeah, he did not speak highly of this movie.
Can I guess it?
Go on then.
Was this because of the back half of Conan?
Kind of. I'll just tell it's not like you could look this up in 2 seconds anyway. What happened was, first of all, he's not called Conan in the movie. He's called Lord something or other. I can't remember.
Mhm.
And it's because they couldn't get the rights for the Conan name.
Right.
And they couldn't get the rights for the Conan name for various reasons, but that doesn't matter. And he was told his part in the movie was a cameo. He was doing it as a favour to a producer friend of him that he'd had like a 10-year relationship with. He's like, okay, I'll be in this movie as a favour to you. So he turned up for 1 week of filming. And then when he got there, they told him he was there for 4 weeks.
That's
and then
a
when he
long
finally was in
cameo.
a rough, yeah. And when they got when he seen the rough cut of the movie, he discovered that he wasn't a cameo. He was a co-star. That's why he disappears for large parts of the movie. So he's at the very beginning. He's in that scene where she fights the guy from A Feet Is in Pet, and then he's at the end. And
Right.
that's why it's because he just basically crammed him into a bunch of action scenes, but he was kind of like contractually obliged to do it, so he done it. But yeah, after that, he refused to work with that producer ever again, and just ended their kind of working relationship.
Aye, because there's a lot of like. To be honest, I absolutely hated the film. Like, I was
Oh, it's
like, what the
bad.
fuck have you made me watch? Although that was our topic. But I don't know what to really say about it. The thing that really bugged me, right, was see the guy with the helmet at the start.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like Boris Johnson. And I literally could not get it out of my mind. Like, why is Boris Johnson in Red Sonja?
I think I know who you mean. He is the Nazi that gets his hand burned in Indiana Jones. Mm-hmm. I was trying to find interesting things about this movie, and there was very few interesting things about that movie. But that's who he plays. So that's who the actor is. He does have a name. Hold on, I do have it somewhere. Nah, is it that guy? It's that guy. Ronald Lacey is the character's name, and that's what he's most famous for, is being the Nazi in Indiana Jones that gets his hand melted. But he was in that as well. Also, he does have quite a funny death at the end of the movie, which did make me laugh. Because like, ooh. If you remember, the big round door squishes him.
Oh, aye.
Even Prince Tam kind of watches and goes, Ugh, that's fucked up. And then goes about his business, which I thought was fun.
I thought the twist was quite interesting.
Which twist was that? Oh, thank you, man. Love you. Okay.
I can't remember the character's name. It turns out she's a guy, and that's
huh?
why he can't touch the stone.
Huh?
See the they them. Red Sonja fights.
Are you talking about Queen Gedrin?
Aye,
She's a guy? I never got that.
aye, because Red Sonja's like, oh, you can't touch the stone because you're a guy.
I think she might just be like being mean. I didn't know that. I never caught that at all. Hold
Did
on.
you know? Because she literally says it during the sword fight.
That's interesting. I wonder if we watched because there's two different versions of this movie. I don't know if I've seen the cut one or not.
Oh, that might be
Uh,
interesting.
well, so yeah, the one that the Red Sonja gives a scar on the face. That is, she's played by Sandal Bergman, who, by the way, was Arnold Schwarzenegger's love interest in Conan One. That's what you know her from. Um,
She looked familiar.
yeah, that's why. Also, she refused. She was offered Red Sonja and
Mm-hmm.
said no. She didn't want to get typecast, so she played Queen Gedrin instead. But they'd literally been in Conan together a couple of years before that.
Is that no? Is that no who he had a relationship with?
Well, I don't know if Arnie did, but he did pump Bridget Nielsen on the set, which is probably why he hung about quite so long in Red Sonja. Um. So yeah. And I don't know if you know this, but like the guy that played Prince Tarn, the little kind of ninja kid,
Mm-hmm.
he went on to play Donatello in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He was the stunt double for that. So he's
Oh,
like
nice.
quite a famous. It's Ernie Reyes Jr.'s his name. He's done a bunch of stuff like when they need like a ninja guy.
Mm-hmm.
So like he did have a career after it. Yeah, it's. We'll kind of go through the movie, but to anyone that doesn't want to watch it or has never seen it, basically there's a big green ball that melts people and is very powerful, although unspecifically powerful, because they don't ever seem to use it to do anything. They just imply that they use it to kill things. And I'm like, all right, cool.
It was a weird thing because I'm like, I was a bit confused. She was like, Queen, is it Gerden?
Queen Gedrin, aye.
Gedrin? She was saying like to the guy, oh, touch it, and then he just fucks and disappears.
Aye, the guy touches it at the beginning and disappears, and then the bub comes over and touches it. I thought Gedrin touched it after that. I'll be honest, I was drifting in and out. I was drifting in and out the whole movie.
No,
I
she
kept
didn't
looking away,
touch it
being
at
like,
all.
yeah. So she's I didn't get that. So that's a twist in the movie that I watched yesterday and didn't notice.
And you need to watch it.
Yeah, which I'm never going to rewatch it. So I'm not going to. That's ridiculous. I never noticed that. Yeah. So green orb thing. They have to take it off the priestesses. They were pretty badass, to be fair. And then they go away, and then Bridget Nielsen goes on a wee adventure and like rescues some people and kills some people and hooks over Arnold Schwarzenegger a couple times. And then they just turn up and like, yeah, her army must have left or something because there wasn't that many guards. I think there was a few guys that they battled, and then she just sword fights her and kills her, and then they just throw the green thing in the lava or something.
I can't remember. That's where I probably drift after.
Yeah, it was. I mean, there's so many bad things about the movie. Like the acting the whole way through was just appalling. I think it was Bridget Nielsen's first movie, and she's never really been known for her acting gravitas.
Mhm.
But she was poor. She also married Sylvester Stallone later on.
Someone told me this morning. I was like, nah, that can't be right.
Yeah, she's married to Sylvester Stallone, and she also was in Beverly Hills Cop, the first one, I think.
Mhm.
But yeah, she's just not very good. She's not very compelling the whole way through. I don't know. To me, it's like somebody watched Conan the Barbarian and went, "Let's make that, but worse,"
Mhm.
and that's what they did.
Um,
I'm trying to think if it had any redeeming features. Some of the sword fight was okay. Not particularly good. She
I
did some
thought
backflips at one point. It's pretty impressive.
the fight between her and Arnold, I thought, fucking hell, this is so long. Yeah, a fight.
That was kind of the point, though, wasn't it? It's like, oh, they're fighting each other to a standstill.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, he was mincing people left and right, just whipping off heads and that constantly. I wasn't sure if at the beginning when Red Sonja was like fighting with like the kind of the sword masters, I wasn't sure if they were the same dudes from Conan. I kind of got the impression they were. Like, I don't know if it was the same actors or anything, but it kind of looked like they.
I've got a few questions for you about Red Sonja.
Go on then.
Why did you pick it?
I remember enjoying the movie when I was younger and getting told that like it was rubbish, but I was like, no, because it had all the things I liked. It had Arnold Schwarzenegger, it had sword fighting, it had like wizards and stuff and like magic. I liked all that shit. And you got to remember when I watched films when I was like 8 or 9 or whatever, there wasn't much about to watch. Like it was just like, here's what you have. There's like 9 movies that we put on all the time. So I always remember it being kind of good fun. But like as you get older and you rewatch things, you're like, maybe people were right about this. But I mean, like you're a child, you don't really have any taste. You're like, this is what I have, so this is what I like.
Mm-hmm.
Not like these days, kids have got so much to watch.
There's so many.
Oh, yeah.
I wrote this question before I even knew this was actually happening. If Red Sonja was getting remade today, who would you cast in the lead role?
That is exciting. See, a lot of the actresses I would immediately think of would be too old. I feel like Scarlett Johansson's too obvious an answer, and also she probably wouldn't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to find. I wish I knew more like kind of young hip actresses. Probably Timothy Chalamet. He'd be alright as Red Sonja. You might as well. Does everything. It's a really tough one because it is getting remade, isn't it? Do we know who's starring in
it? Matilda Lutz.
Let's have a look. Blah 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 blah.
She was oh my god. Okay, she's not in any films I know.
Yeah, she's in loads of stuff though. She's done. Oh, yeah, looking at it, yeah, she's done loads of stuff I've never heard of. Yeah, this is also the thing that there's so many people now that could possibly do it. Put on a bit of muscle mass. I liked her from the Queen's Gambit. Get her to do it.
Oh, Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, she's cool. Get her.
I've got one other question. How does this compare to other fantasy films like Conan the Barbarian or Beastmaster?
Weirdly, never watched Beastmaster, but compared to Conan, it's dog shit. So I don't recommend this movie to anyone. Like nobody should watch this film. It should be expunged from the record. Also, really hard to get a hold of. You need to either subscribe to services or buy it, which I think is just offensive. This movie should be up for free on YouTube.
Yeah, I had to rent it on Prime.
Did you?
Yeah.
Loser. Yeah. I also paid for it on a completely legal service. Oh
I couldn't find it with it.
Could you not? I did. I found that and I found the animated version, and I was going to watch the animated version and then be like, what did you guys watch the film for? It's terrible. But I thought, I better not do that because I was like, I wonder if the animated one's any good.
That would be funny.
It would have. That's what I thought. I was like, that would be funny if I just done that. But then I thought, better not. So yeah, it's just. Well, actually, I'm having a quick look at the remake that's coming up. I'm seeing if it's by anyone interesting. Okay, it's getting directed by a person. Let's see if they're a person that we care about. Nope. Oof. Okay, they've done one thing that you might be interested in. They done Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Oh, okay.
They done an episode of Reacher, which is cool. I like Reacher. Altered Carbon, which was okay. Iron Fist, that's probably actually worse that they've done that. And Power, which I think people seem to quite like as well.
Oh, Power's fucking great.
Okay, so the movies he's done. I'm looking at Solomon Kane. I didn't really enjoy that. Silent Hill was pretty good. The first one was pretty good. Weirdly good, actually, which was really surprising. So yeah, let's see who it's written by. Is it written by someone interesting? Written by Tasha. I don't know who that is. Tasha Howe, and they don't even have a no. There's no. Oh, but okay. No, let's see if they've done. Let's have a look. Oh God, do we have to use that again?
How much did they make at the box office?
Oh, that's always a fun question. The original movie, I don't think it made much. Budget just under 18 million. Box office just under 7 million. Yeah, so
hell.
yeah, it just Nah. It's just nah, man. Nothing. And even I've googled the writer of the new movie, and their name has not come up anywhere. So I'm sure they've done lots. I'm sure they're very good, but I'm not attached to anything we've heard of. So yeah, Red Sonja, don't bother.
Yeah.
I only picked it because I thought it'd be funny. My other choice was Pacific Rim, and I'd much rather watch Pacific Rim again than watch Red Sonja.
Oh, I don't even know what I'd watch in that because I don't like the both of them.
Oh, you don't like Pacific Rim? At least it's our good friend of the pod.
Charlie Hunnam.
Who?
Charlie Hunnam.
Oh, Charlie Hunnam. Well, yeah, him as well, obviously. Yeah. No, I meant the director. It's by our good friend who we all love, whose name I definitely haven't forgot.
Who is that? I don't remember.
Pacific Rim. Guillermo del Toro.
Del Toro.
Pacific Rim. I'm sure he done it.
No,
Was
that
he was
can't be
definitely involved in it. Hold on a second. Yeah, Guillermo del Toro done it. And it was a story by some other guy that's not him, but yeah, Guillermo done it. You know, his box office didn't that bad. Pacific Rim cost about 200 million, but it made 400 million at the box office. Also, it's got other friend of the pod, Charlie, in it, who I love. So yeah.
Should we do Bugsy Malone or Howard the Duck?
Well, let's get Bugsy Malone out the way, because Sally's not here to defend her movie, and had to defend my movie, so... How did you feel about Bugsy Malone, Logan? I done a lot of talking there.
Actually, do you know what? At first, I was watching it, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be fucking shit, man. But the more I looked into it, it's actually not bad. So I kind of like it takes a piss at the 1920s mob boss kind of films and they just added Wayne's to it. But it actually had some kind of good prop design where the guns shooting like pies. I was like, that's kind of cool. And the bicycle motors.
Those were the two things I was going to bring up. The splurge guns was fun. And the bicycle cars, I'm like, they look fantastic. At that age, if you'd given me one of them, I'd be like, this is the coolest thing I've seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
They were wonderful. They look expensive as well. Like, they didn't cheap out on them. Like, they were cool things. Like, I don't know. I assume they were specially made for the movie, but oh my god! And there was loads of them. Oh, they were brilliant. It was. I mean, the storyline was made sense. So yeah, splurge guns have came in. It
was a generic mob like mafia film. Like they didn't need to go over the top on like story, but see, they even done like the stupid, the setup gangs, like the ambushes. They've done that twice in the film. The first one when they're in the Chinese laundrette, I was like, oh shit, this is actually pretty good. And you've got the car chase scene. I was like, that's pretty good as well.
Yeah, I mean, whoever done it cared about the movie and like wanted to make a good film. They weren't like, let's just pap out some crap for some wins. Like, no, they put some thought into it. And there was a few famous faces in it as well. We meant, like, obviously Jodie Foster's in it. Also, it's the same year she done Taxi Driver.
Is that?
It's crazy, that, isn't it? Same year as Taxi Driver. I don't know if it's the same year they're made, but they came out the same year. I think there was a running gag that I think she done 4 movies that year that were immensely different, but just like cemented. There's like, by the way, this person's an excellent actor. So I keep looking at the window because my couch is meant to be coming. I don't see it coming at 9 o'clock at night, but they promised it'd be here today. So yeah, that was incredible. Scott Baio, who you might know the name. He's done lots of kind of sitcoms and stuff. And did you recognise Babyface, who's the guy that gets the baseball bat at the end and runs up and gets rid of the baseball furies? It was Dexter Fletcher.
Who's that?
Oh, do you know who Dexter Fletcher is? Yes, you do. He is from lots of things. Go and Google Dexter Fletcher right now. You'll be like, that guy? And he must have been about 8 in that because he was so young. Dexter Fletcher.
Oh!
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. I know how you thought of it.
Yeah, you do. He's in Lock, Stock, but he's in loads and loads and loads of things. I think he was in Grange Hill as well. If anyone's old enough to remember that. He's
done a lot of biopics. He's done Rocket Man. He's done Bohemian Rhapsody. He's done Eddie the Eagle and all.
I can believe, yeah. He's like one of those like British actors that's just like kind of like a really good actor, but like I think he's just a jobber, just like work in anything, and they'll give him a role like, yep, I'm in that. just like one of these guys that's knocking out films left and right. But
You've
yeah,
also the
brilliant.
Elephant Man. Obviously David Lynch film.
Oh, rest in power.
Fucking hell, he's done loads. I need to watch a few of his stuff again. Then
He's also in the first Doom movie, the one with Carl Urban in it.
is that the one with
The
Wayne?
Rock.
Yeah,
Yep.
I actually
That's one.
remember that.
Yeah, that's a strange movie.
I'm actually
I've
surprised
watched.
no one picked that.
In retrospect, yeah, if I'd thought of it at the time, I
Yeah.
would have picked it because it's like a kind of trash movie, but at least it's actors in it I like. But I'll be honest, out the three movies we ended up watching, Bugsy Malone was probably the strongest actual movie, like the best of the three. Loads offended here.
To be fair, on what I've got to say about Howard the Duck with the casting, you are right. Just because how cost that casting is, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But
But I do have a fun fact about the guy that played Fat Sal as well. So Fat Sal went on to he acted in a few more things, but not a whole hell of a lot. He went on to work in construction, and he ended up getting jailed for bribery.
I read
later
this.
in life. Did you
Yeah.
read that one? I thought that was really funny because I was just looking. Thought I'll look through and see because usually I look through these things and it just makes me sad how many of them are dead.
Yeah.
The guy that played the other kid gangster who was in charge, he did sadly die when he was like 33 or something.
Is that the Bugsy Malone?
No, not Bugsy Malone. The other guy. Hold on, I'll tell you his name right now.
Oh, is that the guy who gets shot by his own gun? Kind of thing?
No, that was sad. Martin Lev, who played Dandy Dan, the rival gang boss.
Oh, yeah.
He was played by a guy called Martin Lev, and the reason I looked him up is because he looked really familiar. But I couldn't place him. So he must just look like somebody because he died in like 1993, very young. He had MS, I think, or something, so he
That's a
wasn't
shame.
doing very well. Yeah, it's a wee shame. But that's always these things. Whenever I look through the actors of these older movies, I'm like, so he's dead, so he's dead, so he's
Yeah.
dead. Oh, that's really sad, yeah. But yeah, I thought the set design was great. However, how did you feel about it as a musical?
It was shit as a musical. It was to be fair, it had its moments, like not just for the musical side, but see, it did have like comedic timing with stuff.
The read the subtitle was hilarious. I laughed out loud when he done that.
Yeah, well, that was good. I was like, I didn't expect this to happen.
I was like that. This Fat Sam had some really good just moments, like some jokes. I'm like, oh man, that was fucking strong jokes.
The thing that made me laugh so much, I don't know why, was see the wee guy and he puts on the wig, and he pretends he's Tallulah. I thought that was funny, man. I don't know why, but it was just hilarious.
Fat Sam had some good moments. It was with Knuckles who dies in the movie. Only person that dies in the movie is Knuckles, who with the splurge gun. And it was he would keep asking him if he knew things. He's like, I don't know, boss. And the one's like when he speaks Italian, he's like, I don't know, boss, I'm Jewish. And then the other time it was like, can you drive? He's like, you can't even drive. I was like, why do I have this guy? He's like, yeah, that's great. And then obviously Knuckles gets covered in custard cream and dies. But yeah, that was all like proper comedic beats. I don't know if it was the fact that the kids didn't sing the songs; it was all adult dubs. I don't know if that kind of just made me watch all the songs and be like, "This is weird. Like, why have they got adult voices coming out these
I
kids?"
think that was intentional.
It was. I looked it up because I thought I need to know more about this. And what happened was that the guy that done the film, he'd got obviously a music writer to do all the stuff and record it all and send it to them. And by the time they'd sent it to them, they're like, it's kind of too late to do this, so we'll just have to use this.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, that's his big regret in the movie was like not just getting the kids to sing their own songs. Because he said he didn't want squeaky kid voices. But you notice quite often the adults had done kind of like squeaky kid voices, so it just sounded weird. Also, the piano player was called by the piano player, doing all stuff, played by a kid called Michael Jackson. Not that Michael Jackson, just a kid called Michael Jackson.
Is this right? I had to search this up and I cannot find anything about this. It said there's a cameo from Michael Jackson to be in this, and I couldn't find anything.
That must be what they're talking about because I was reading the end credits and it's like Michael Jackson. Like, I would no that. So I looked up. I was like Michael Jackson. Like what Michael Jackson? And it just came. It was like Michael Jackson. One credit. I'm like right. It's not that Michael Jackson. It's just another guy called Michael Jackson. It's like what's the chances? But he was the piano player. That's who he was.
I searched a full hour trying to find a picture of Michael Jackson and Bugsy Malone.
and you couldn't, and that's why.
Could not
So I think
find
that's
it
been
all.
like I think that's what's happened in the past. People have heard it's Michael Jackson. They're like, oh, Michael Jackson's in that. It's like, no, a guy called Michael Jackson is in that. So I enjoyed that. The one thing, the one issue I had with storylines, the storyline, I felt like the boxing gym kind of came out of nowhere. Like I feel like they had to give him a pal, and that
Aye.
didn't really go anywhere. It just goes to the gym, knocks a guy out, and it's like, yep, that's that, and then we move on. And they're like, was there
Oh,
more
but
to
see,
this?
before that was like he was getting jumped for the $200. He
Aye.
guy just fucking barges in like it was nothing.
Oh yeah, like starts flinging guys away like they're made of paper. Like it was impressive. When he does, in like the other, like the boxing kid just smashes him. Like that kid got knocked the fuck out, man. But that was good, yeah. That was one of the better songs. The boxing song was better. The we could have been anything that we wanted to be.
Mhm.
That was good as well. But that only had a good chorus. Like the rest of the song was garbage. And then down, down, down and out. That was okay as well. But just I felt as a musical they could have done better. But I
Yeah.
enjoyed the movie. They could have just left out the music and just done like the actual kind of full on gangster movie with kids. I'm like, this is good fun. Um, so yeah, I think that was also just as we always ask this question: was it a success? I think so.
I don't know. That was not your
Yeah.
answer.
Well, the budget was less than $1 million and it made more than $1 million, but I think it's one of those films that probably did a lot better when it got sold to TV.
That was less than $1 million.
Oh, you got to remember, like kids get paid fuck all.
Oh, aye,
Yeah.
because they have to work certain hours compared to adults. Oh yeah,
And it was
so
back in like 80s money, so like like they wouldn't be paying those kids would be like getting like a few $1,000s if they're lucky.
I wonder how
Uh,
that would work then, because child actors have to work a certain amount of hours compared to adults. So
uh,
does that mean they worked? Let's say they only could work 5 hours a day, right? Does that mean the production in that would have just the filming would have been so much longer because they had some short time, or do you think they just sped up everything?
it was also in the 80s, man, so those rules probably didn't quite exist at that point.
That's
It
probably
could have
true.
been
Aye.
quite a short. Yeah, it's like with most of these things, it probably just like rattled through. Blah 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 blah. Casting, yada yada, music, blah blah blah, filming. Here we go. Um, Nah, it doesn't really give you any information
Doesn't
about it.
really say
No
that.
idea. Nah, nothing there. But again, 80s is a bit of a different time period, so they probably just done like 8 hour days. But if
Mhm.
you look at it, the movie's not got like a lot of different pieces to it. Sometimes there's just random scenes. So
Mhm.
like when Knuckles dies, it's just like a random scene. So yep, that happens, and then he's gone. And then like when they all go to Dandy Dan's house, and it's like the six guys. It's
Mhm.
just a random scene. It doesn't really lead to anything. At the end, they'll become pals. And it turns out getting shot with the splurge gun doesn't actually kill you. So the only one that dies is Knuckles. So it's like, that's real
Aye,
sad.
but
He
he
just
still
gets killed.
gets like shot. Like his sludge gun kind of blows up on him.
Well, it explodes and covers him in like the cream, and he
Aye.
just dies. But no one else, like, because at the end, the rest of them are getting splattered and they're just walking about. Because what they specifically say is like, once you've been hit with a splurge gun, then that's you finished. But they don't say you're dead. It's just like no, because you've been
Aye.
embarrassed, you can't be a criminal anymore. So
Do
yeah,
you know? Do you
that
know what that
was.
made it way better at the end?
Hmm.
Is they just it was just like parents just see their Waynes playing fucking mob bosses and it's like they're just fucking make believe and all that. That would have been
Mhm.
cool.
I'm kind of surprised that's not what happened. Like at the end, like some adults just come in and start calling them all in for their dinner or something.
Aye.
And then they'll just like go, okay, it's time to go. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll finish it off, and then that's it. But I'm sure there'd be an alter. Like if we'd done it now, that'd probably be something like that. But yeah.
Would you
But
would
anyway,
you rewatch that again, or would you recommend it to anyone?
um, it's such a dated movie. Like I don't think my kids would enjoy it. Like for nostalgia reasons, I'd maybe watch it again with some like people my age, and we could like drink during it and watch it. But I don't think I would rewatch it to be honest now, except in those very specific circumstances. What about yourself?
I mean, I'm glad I kind of watched it because it was different to your usual mob like mafia. I keep saying mob
Mm-hmm.
boss for some reason. Mafia films and gangster films. So it
Yeah,
was a bit different, but it's shit. But like it's shit in a good way at the same time. It's weird.
yeah. It was very clearly made of a time period, and this is movie clearly for children, and that's it. Like this is for kids. and like kids will watch this. It seems like the kind of thing that I probably watched at primary school. Like the primary school probably got a set a copy of this, and we sat and watched it like in like a December when you're not really doing much work or whatever. That's what it
Pretty
came
much.
across as to me anyway. So yeah, I don't know, a middle thumb,
Aye,
whatever.
middle thumb, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
middle
think it'll
thumb.
work on here, but I'll try it. No. Oh, it
No, you
didn't
don't.
work! It worked!
Oh, it worked. There you go. You got your
Ah,
thing. So yeah,
I
yours
got
does
the
that
touch!
because you've got the Apple computer, isn't it?
I think it probably is, too.
That's what I've always assumed. It's because you've got the Apple computer. It knows when you're doing thumbs up, whereas my computer does not do anything.
Let's try it
Barely
again.
even works.
No, I think it only worked once, and that's it.
You get one an episode, and that's it.
Aye.
Whoop.
That would be the thing. It's like the best film out of that episode. That's when I do the thumbs up. That would be a thing now.
That's it. So Bugsy Malone's getting that then. He's
Yeah,
getting that
pretty
honor.
much.
Yeah,
By accident, let's say.
fair play.
The last and final film of the episodes, Hubble the Duck. I don't know how I can explain what the film really is. It's about a duck called Hivald who just basically sits on his arse, and next minute he's shot into the atmosphere, into Earth,
Hmm.
uh, by accident, I guess. Would you say it was an accident? Kind of an accident?
I mean, it seemed to be an accident. Yeah, like they didn't. There's they say a weird thing in the movie. They say they lost control of the thing, the laser cannon, and it had, and then later they say they lost control of it again. I'm like, is someone doing that? Like, is that because even the baddie aliens, they weren't like, oh, we took control of it. They're like, yeah, it just had us back. So you're like,
Yeah.
so what do you? That seems so just twice. It shot him and then it shot there and like and they just came down it. I'm like, I've got so many questions that are like, yeah, that just happened. You're like, was it meant to be like Howard was summoned first to protect against the monsters?
Mhm.
Well, why would they get him first then? Like, surely they got the monsters first, and then they're like, we need a hero. Here's a duck. Mate, I don't know. Like, he gets sucked out of his planet anyway, Duck Planet, Duck World, for reasons, and then turns up, but he doesn't go back to where they go to. He just goes
Yeah,
to
he
like a
kind of lives
alleyway
his life in Earth. So, but
for a
would
few
you?
days. It's not entirely clear how long he's hanging about.
Aye, but you can't get back to
Oh yeah,
the
at
Duck
the end,
World.
Jay chooses to. Well, I
Spoiler
mean, I
alert.
don't know why they can't just rebuild it. Well, spoilers for a 40-year-old movie or
Yeah,
something.
but it was like 30 years.
Well, no, it was 1986, so it'll be 39 years old.
My bad, aye, so it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the budget first. What do you
Okay.
think the budget was?
Oh, I actually have just looked at the Wikipedia page. Didn't even pick up. I don't know, 15 million.
30 million.
I mean, with the animatronics, that makes sense. To be fair, well,
And
special effects.
it grossed at 37 million. So it only made 7
Okay.
million profit.
Aye, I mean, a lot of the time you'll find that the budget for like the budget, and then on top of that, the advertising usually doubles that.
Mhm.
But I'm sure over eventually it would claw back its money. It
Well,
also launched Tim Robbins' career. Is that not his first starring role?
this really surprised me because he go into like the greatest films like Shawshank and that, and I was like, is that him? But do you know what although it's kind of generic the way his character is, he reminds me of Dwight for The Office.
Yeah, I mean, like kind of big gangly science guy that kind of does stuff. It's like, yeah, okay, he makes sense.
But
He's fine. I mean, he's good in it. I wasn't offended by Tim Robbins' acting.
no,
He'd done a
I
couple of like eccentric things, but I feel like he was probably told to do that.
I had a theory
Mhm.
that The Office is connected to Howard the Duck
Okay.
just because of Tim Robinson's character. So he's obviously weirdly obsessed with things and wants to do a lot of things. So I was thinking to myself, what happens if he was in a witness protection program and went to Scranton and he became Dwight? I'm just saying it could work.
So you think that 30 years later, the guy that was, I don't know, in his 20s at the time, who's now a 60-year-old man, is just is Rainn Wilson? Gets
Yeah.
plastic surgery to look like Rainn Wilson. I don't know what to do with any of that information there, Logan, but okay.
Think about it. Dwight has all these new skills, martial arts. He's got his fruit farm. He's defending stuff as usual. Makes a
Mhm.
lot of sense. he's got to try and fight if there was evil again.
So you say he learned his martial arts was quack fu that he learned then, yeah?
There you go.
I always thought it's weird.
There
It's
you
like
go.
we don't call like whenever you get like an alien that's like it's called quack fu. It's like why do we call quack fu? We don't call like I don't know. I'm trying to think what noise you make. We make a lot of different noises, but like why would we call it quack fu? Like oh we're going to name it after this noise we make. Surely it would be like I don't know. Just we just have a normal name, but you know, everything's got to be a pun on ducks.
Do you know
Well, they
how
make a
much
lot.
George Lucas spent on making the Howard the Duck suit?
Oh, it's gonna be a ludicrous amount, surely. I don't know, $1 million. Yeah. Aye. Mhm. Hmm. Right.
Uh, but then obviously whatever happened during behind the scenes, Ed Gale became the main Howard the Duck stuntman, and he got
Right.
credited. So it was kind of a wee bit. He should have still been credited for it.
Seems weird. I mean, I did also read that. I mean, it makes it because the duck does a lot of different things. They've got to hang off things. And sometimes like they strip him kind of like partially naked at one point. So I guess they'd have to have different people in the suit at the different times because it would be too bulky or whatever. Because I seen there was like a woman in it at one point.
Well, I had to
Um,
search up about the scene Howard's in the bed with Leah Thompson,
yes.
and she's like kind of weirdly coming on to him a bit.
Aye.
So that was actually Ed Gale. It was in the suit. I had to search it up because I was like, "There's no way."
Didn't have the child in there. Hold on a second. Did they message back or something? No. I thought Yvonne came in there. I thought maybe she was going to tell us about the couch, but no, she just came
It'll
in and
come
flipped me off.
tomorrow probably.
Yeah, I think so. At this point, it must be coming tomorrow. I'm not going to turn up at this time of night.
Yeah.
We've had no couch though. Anyway, don't matter. That was I think everyone probably talks about this when they talk about Howard the Duck is the relationship between her and the duck. I'm like, I don't know what's going on there. Like, what's the plan? Because like at the end, that's her boyfriend. Her boyfriend is the duck.
Well,
Like, he's a
kinda.
duck.
But this is the way I could think of the way Howard the Duck was. Do you remember Leslie suit Larry?
Yeah, Leslie Short Line. Of course I do. Yeah, there's
That's
six
what
of
it just reminds me. He's like just this weird guy just wants his hole. That's all I could think of.
them. Just a weird, creepy dude that just tries it up with every woman he meets, and I met
Aye.
some women said yes. Yeah, fair enough. There was I mean, there's loads of boring facts about it. I'm not going to like ducks have a corkscrew penis, but you know, maybe they developed a normal one. Also, at the beginning of the movie, duck titties.
Yeah, duck titties.
That was weird.
Do you know what is weird? What is weird though? The black duck or the duck titties?
Well, there's only one black duck, which I thought was really weird.
There's
Like,
two.
was there
There's,
two? Is there
there's
two?
two.
Is there another one?
So there's one on TV, right? And I thought,
Aye.
alright, okay, there's a bit of race in this. Okay, fair enough. But there's
Aye.
one is like, see when he's getting zapped and the couch gets like through all the wads.
Uh-huh.
There's a black duck holding a boombox. I'm like,
It was so the 80s at this point, yeah,
Aye.
I guess. I mean, the ducks came in different shapes and sizes because he was watching the how many duck suits did they make? Because there was I suppose because there was also like loads of different ducks in the telly. Like there was the old ducks in the bed. Then there was
Aye.
like the big jock ducks with their
Well,
jock itch.
I think some of them was puppeteers, like actual just normal like Kermit the Frog kind of puppets.
See, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
But just because you're talking about that, like see when you seen like the kind of pictures in the background, they were just all drawn on.
That makes sense. Yeah, because I picture him with his parents. I'm like, well,
Aye.
that does look like just it's all been photoshopped together.
It
So I
was
suppose
like
it didn't have to
Walt
be
Disney kind of art.
Aye, that's fair play. I'm just trying to think of the overall story of the movie. Like, it's like there's no point in dissecting because it doesn't make any sense. Like at one
Yeah.
point he's applying for a job. He goes, "That's what I was going to say. Is this a kids movie?" Because at the beginning,
Right.
I mean, he at one point threatens somebody with a broken bottle. There's some female bike riders called the Satan sluts or like something like that. Satan satanic sluts. I'm like, that's pretty hardcore for this kind of movie. Like, there's a lot of violence. Like, it's not gruesome, but like it's pretty hardcore. She's gonna fuck the duck guy. That's pretty weird. Duck titties. That's pretty weird. But like, so who's that? Is this a children's movie? Because it's a
So
children's
this
movie. You need to take a lot of that out.
so this was an actual meant to be a child's film,
Ah, right, okay.
but it was 12 rated.
Ah,
But to me, that was so much fun. Even when she goes through the wallet, he's got a condom.
right. So he does.
That's unravelled, by the way. Unravelled.
Yeah, just a raw condom, not even in its wrapper. Just like just popped out, stuck in there. It's gonna be filled with like dust and all that. Like, what's he gonna do with that? Like that's mental. I mean, we didn't know what it was. We put it out in the little square. We know what they are. That was mental. Yeah, that was a weird thing.
Yeah, like they could have just made like, I don't know, like done like a pun with with a company like Durex with like DuckX or something.
Something, yeah, like something for the adults. But no, just to be 100% clear, this is definitely a condom he's got in there. And then so obviously they do that. He goes for the job interview, gets knocked back, ends up becoming their manager because he goes to stab the guy with the ice pick, misses him, doesn't miss him, deliberately misses him through the earring. I'm like, that's a pretty hardcore scene for this kid's movie as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the second, then he was going to pierce the other ear. That was the other thing I was going to say. Is it? I'm going to.
I feel like talk about the hot tub job.
Oh, when he flings him in the hot tub and there's the people fucking in the hot tub.
Aye, like because that was kind of extreme for a 12.
Well, he gets the job, and I guess he's like the jizz mopper or something, and like some kind of brothel.
Aye.
And there's a lot of people just like banging it all over the place. And the weird thing is, he would have kept the job if the guy that ran the place wasn't such a dick.
Yeah.
Like, so he was just gonna. So the rest of the movie could have been Howard the Duck just working in a brothel, just cleaning the floor. But for some reason, the guy that ran it decided to be like an asshole, which I just can't understand. But he immediately gets revenge on him, kicks him into the dirt. That's got that was weird. Again, there's a lot of just weirdness in it. I don't understand why this exists.
There was a lot of continuity error in this book because, to be honest, I shouldn't really think too hard about the film, right? But it was like when Howard kind of gets revealed after he comes at the science centre, like people are freaking out, like, oh, it's fucking human duck. And then he goes to the job centre, and she doesn't really care. She's like, I know you're a fucking duck or something like that. But then he goes to the brothel, and then they don't care, and then people started to care when he was on the bus, and then it was a bit weird. It's like some people care and some people don't.
Like, I don't know why you would either laugh. I mean, I think you'd be more like that duck guy. Like, I don't know if you would laugh or just be like more kind of gently surprised. Also, like, my immediate thought was like, see, when he went for a job, it's like, does she not have any questions? Like, what's your social security number? Do you have an address?
Aye.
Like, just got him a job in a brothel. Like, she doesn't even know what age he is. He's like, as far as she's concerned, is that a child in a duck suit or what? Mm-hmm. He also straight away says to her, I shoplifted all these things. It's like, I have committed crimes to dress as a child, and now you're going to get me a job in a brothel. A lot of weirdness, but it's like, it's a movie about a duck, so should I care?
But just love it's like, I know what you're like, saying like, they always send me the hard cases, like she's a pure cop on that. I was like, this is great. We need her in the job centre.
I think it was just, again, it's just meant to be a funny scene. I guess that was more the comedy side of it. Like, we're not going to answer any of those questions because why should we?
Do you know who was originally meant to be the voice of Howard?
Oh, I did looked up. Yeah, they actually got some work out of him. That was Robin Williams.
Yeah.
They actually offered quite a lot of comedians, but he was not happy with it. He's like, he was trying to match up the way he spoke to the way the duck moved, the bill moved, and he's like, I can't do it. And he just walked off set. He's like, not having
it. So when they were still filming, they just got all the puppeteers, so it'd be Ed Gale or like Jordan Prentice just voicing Howard when they were just filming on set until they got Chip Zane.
Yeah, I think it was his name, yeah.
But although he previously auditioned for the role and obviously didn't get it till that never got the phone call, and then he had to fly to California that same night.
Oh really? Aye.
Yeah.
It's just it's a crazy fever dream of a movie. It makes no sense. But
fun, man, I loved it.
I'm not going to say like I was offended to watch it, but like I would never choose to knowingly watch Howard the Duck again because it's not a good film. Although, on a side note, they do touch on Howard the Duck having a human bride and having a child. Because if you watch the Marvel's What If,
Aye.
he ends up with Darcy from Thor, played by oh Christ, I can't believe I forgot her name because I love
That
her as
of
well.
the two broke girls.
That's exactly what I was going to call her. Two broke girls. Kat Dennings. How could I forget her? The beautiful Kat Dennings. So yeah, he ends up with Kat Dennings from Two Broke Girls, and they have a child which she gives birth to and is an egg, and then they have a half human, half duck daughter who's like an incredibly powerful, like magical being. So again, like they bring it back, like they bring back what would happen if a duck person, I guess, has sex with a human woman, then they have an egg.
Does that mean Howard the Duck is the first MCU film now?
I don't think they admit to that one. They don't admit to that one. They don't admit to the original Captain America movie. They don't take on the two Fantastic Four movies. So there's some stuff they've just jettisoned. They're like, no. Although to be fair, multiverse. If they want to, they could be like, yeah, they are part of the multiverse. They're just not part of the continuity. So yeah, they probably do claim them actually.
The Jeffrey, well, I don't know what's his name. Jeffrey Jones, the character he plays, is a Marvel villain as well.
Oh, really? Didn't know that.
I didn't write it down, but he was an actual Marvel Comics villain.
Yeah. Jeffrey Jones. Oh, he plays Dr. Walter Jennings, but it doesn't actually give me any interest there.
Dark Overlord of the universe. What was his
okay.
name?
Dark Overlords of the Universe. Let's find out. We have the internet right here. I'll open up my better internet though because that one is stupid.
Also, the people that also auditioned to play Howard the Duck was Martin Short and John Cusack.
I think they didn't knock it back though, but yeah. Aye. Yeah, they're absolutely in there. Yeah, there's loads of people. That's crazy. I did actually. I thought one of the best characters was So did you say his name is Jeffrey? What is it?
Jeffrey Jones.
Jeffrey Jones. I actually enjoyed that character quite a lot. See, like that kind of stuff. I thought that was hilarious.
Do you like him as an
actor? He's been a couple of good things. I like that. I liked him as Ferris Bueller's principal. Unfortunately, massively tarnished by the fact that he is a paedophile. So. Although I think we talked about this before in the podcast, and he was working for a long time after that. Like he was found out like I think like the late 90s or 2000s, but he was in Deadwood after. He went on to do stuff.
His last film was it not with Johnny Depp? That Victorian film. And then I think he's still alive.
I think Jeffrey Jones is still alive. Yeah, Jeffrey Jones. 78 years old. He's still active. As 2003 he got done. I know they killed him off for the sequel of Beetlejuice, didn't they?
This was another thing that I did not realise about Jeffrey Jones. He has no eyebrows.
He has no eyebrows?
Aye.
I did not know that.
Because I was looking at the bit when he's got the goggles off. I was like, he has no eyebrows. I'm like, wait, I've never seen his eyebrows before. So I had to search up pictures of him. He literally has no eyebrows at all.
I think he's just a ginger, mate. I think he has got like... Oh, no, actually, I'm looking at a picture of him right now. He clearly does not have eyebrows there. That's mad.
That's it.
Yeah. It's such a weird thing, because he was one of those actors that popped up and stuff all throughout like the 90s and that. And then just obviously paedophile. So he's just kind of disappears. But I liked that. I like that. I also like the see the puppet, like the Dark Overlord thing. I thought that was very scary.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was quite cool. I thought it was weird that they just like, oh, by the way, we've got this like laser cannon just in this cupboard over here. We're gonna fight that. I was like, okay, it's a movie, whatever. But like, we just have one of these and it's fully functional. By the way, just unplug it, plug it in, boom, done.
This was real interesting. Although this film became really shit, it kind of helped another company.
Ooh.
So when this was getting filmed, George Lucas just built a 50 million Skywalker Ranch complex because he was counting on the film to basically get him back on a horse. But although it bombed, he was forced to start selling off his assets to stay afloat. His friend Steve Jobs, obviously CEO of Apple, he offered to help buying Lucasfilm's newly launched CGI animation division for a price well above the market value. Lucas agreed. The division eventually became Marvel Animation Studios.
Wow, really? There you go.
That's cool.
So Lucas had to start selling stuff off. Was Lucas not like a multi-billionaire at this point?
Nah.
It's interesting. I thought he did because he had all his Star Wars money at that point.
Aye, but he's only done a couple of films then, because he done American Graffiti,
Aye.
A New Hope. I want to
Empire Strikes
say,
Back and Return of the Jedi came out in like '82.
aye, but
That's interesting.
I don't know how it works with maybe he had certain contracts he couldn't really get a lot of shares after or whatever.
It's also not to say that, like, just because he had the money didn't mean he was using that money. It could be like, yeah, this is the business and this is me. Me has the money, but this could be failing, but I'm not going to bail it out because, like, I'm keeping my money kind of situation. So it could be something like that.
But at least it kind of made Pixar, and look how success they've gotten, or not.
I'm gonna look
All
here,
because of Howard the Dog.
Jesus, I'm actually looking here. There's so much crap, man.
John Landis was originally meant to direct the film, but he turned it down. He read the script, and they only turned it down because of the police car chase, because it was very similar to the film we done before, which was the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to guess. So yeah, that's fair play. Really, so you think he'd have just been like, well, can I change that to something else? Like, you're a director.
Aye. It's a bit weird why they could say, oh no, well, I'll do it, but I don't want this scene in it, just change it to something else.
Like, you're John Landis, like, you're not nobody at that point, but like, let's just mix this up to be something. No, maybe that was just the reason they gave. He's like, oh yeah, that's this reason. Actually, it's because I hate ducks.
But
yeah.
although we're talking about Jeffrey Jones, about him being a paedophile, there was another one, which was obviously Ed Gale, who kind of got caught maybe a couple of years back.
All right.
He got caught. Basically, police found stuff on his laptop, and that basically got him caught. Which is funnily enough, I actually had him on Facebook when I was like 16. I still have his Facebook account on my Facebook. He actually did message me when I was a wee guy, but I don't have the messages anymore. But I do remember him messaging me. So I kind of wish I still had the message.
Show me your wiener.
So
That's
yeah,
hilarious. Apart from obviously like the fact he's a paedophile, but I
could have been launched by him.
You could have been if only, yeah. Well, so you have a connection to Howard the Duck. That's mad. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Actually, I'll find it right now.
He had smartphones, blah blah blah. It remains under investigation, so he's never actually been done for it. I can't believe that's not how you opened.
I should have owned
By
that.
the way,
Look, can I show you? Can I show that?
show what is that you've got him on Facebook? Why?
Aye.
Public, is it not?
Yeah, well, that's literally his account. Ed Gale, friends. That's literally all his stuff.
Is he still posting?
Last time he posted was 2023.
That makes sense, yeah. Just about when the police raided his house, yeah.
Just when he got caught.
So how did you get him on Facebook?
He just added me.
What, just randomly? Like, you're just like, you never...
Mate, I'm not even joking. Ed Gale just randomly added me on Facebook. I don't know how. It must have been like a geek page I was on for like cosplays or something, and he's like, oh.
Look at that sexy boy. What year was that?
When they added me?
Aye.
Oh, I think it was like 2016.
So a good 10 years ago then, or almost 10 years. So yeah. So you would have been a child at the time then, yeah?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Logan, that's crazy. Like, that's absolutely bonkers.
We've got a clip for TikTok at the same time.
Woo!
That'll get the views.
Logan Rocco. By the way, Lee, I was almost nonced by a guy that was Howard the Duck's like, why is this not all we've been talking about for the last hour?
I know. I've seen this.
Message him now. Like, excuse me, mate. That offer's still open. I need content.
I was saying this to people. He's like, yeah, your life is mental. I'm like, well, when I say about getting on by a celebrity, then it's kind of a bit fucked up.
now I say it out loud, I realise that's kind of crazy. Yeah, there you go. That's so funny. I'm glad you didn't message him back. Looking to be honest. Yeah, you want to fly me over to Hollywood? That sounds great for my big break. Oh my god, no!
Gale Island.
To be fair, they've probably just been looking for pictures. I mean, you're quite far away. He's not going to fly you over. That's a real issue. You can't.
Sounds
That's
like a
real
signature.
crimes.
It was a stuntman for Chucky, to be fair.
I mean, there you go. You're getting a deal out of it, to be honest. That's mental. I'm genuinely taken aback by this information.
That's one way to start off the.
You should absolutely. By the way, I've got a connection to how that you knew the guy because I didn't look up at him at all because I thought, who cares about these stuntmen actors? I'm not even going to look at this. So two potential child molesters in that movie. That's crazy. There you go.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. I'm just checking his recent that last post, right? And people are still commenting.
All right.
And there's people who don't even know he's a paedophile.
What were they saying? Like, yeah, man, you're cool.
They're just saying, oh, it's been over a year since you've been on this Facebook, wondering how you're doing. And then there's a guy who says, apparently he's been under investigation for something bad. I hope he's okay. I was like, well, you're going to find out, buddy. It's because it's his birthday.
Oh.
A couple months back. Oh, well, I'm not saying happy birthday to you pedo bastard.
Hey, you dirty pedo! I'm not going to say anything to you because you're a pedo.
So what we getting Howard the Duck?
Well, I mean, it's got 2 pedos out of how many stars of that movie. So, like, Howard the Duck. So let's say who's the star, right? The star was the guy that played Howard, which is Ed. It was the incredibly hot lady who fucks ducks, Leah Thompson, Tim Robbins, and Jeffrey Jones. So I'd say they were probably the stars.
That was another thing. See, when I actually first watched that, when I was like about 5 or 6, she was my first crush.
Oh, she's incredibly beautiful. Like, oh my goodness, like she's super duper hot. I'd also go back to say like Bridget Nielsen and Sandra Bergman. Sandra Bergman, is that her name? Aye, Bergman. In that, super duper hot. Also, Sandal, see when she was in Conan. Oh my goodness. She is fantastic. Also, she's a dancer, which is why she looks that way.
You're forgetting there's literally one cameo, which was I didn't realise. Katie Seagal was Seagull. She was in Howard the Duck.
Was she?
She was one of the band members.
Oh,
she was in it for like a split second, but like she was so young in it.
I'm not surprised, I didn't notice that. I actually thought when I was watching the movie, there's a point when he gets off the bus, somebody hangs out the window and shouts like, "That's a duck, man!" And I thought that sounds just like Samuel L. Jackson, so I went back to check to see if it was Samuel. It wasn't. Like, I'm kind of disappointed that's not Samuel L. Jackson, like in an early role, because Samuel L. Jackson does stuff.
He's been a lot. I was surprised to see him using Goodfellas. That was one thing I didn't expect him to be in.
I did not know he was in Goodfellas either. There you go.
He's like in it for like young and he gets killed off, basically.
I think it's what like Samuel Jackson's early career was a lot of like bit parts, cameo. Well, I don't know if you call them cameos, just be bit parts and like day players and stuff. Because he's in Coming to America as well as like the robber. But it's not like he's just in a scene and then that's it. But that's fair play. So Howard the Duck gets 2 pedos out of 4. So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
I think it's a bad thing, to be fair.
I'd say that's a bad thing, yeah. Like if you've managed to hire 2 people that both turn out to be sex offenders, then there's something wrong with you. Well, they didn't get found out for much longer, so we can't blame George Lucas for that. We can blame him many things.
Done for something. That's all you need. But I think this has been a good episode for basically showing what our personalities like we based after these films. So I wrote, because when I was watching them, I was like, you know what, I'm going to write this down. So I think I've narrowed down the personalities a wee bit. Ooh. So I wrote for you, Lee, I says, you admire strong, independent heroes who enjoy action-packed fantasy with a touch of old-school charm, like Red Sonja, is about a fierce warrior. So you maybe have been drawn to the story of resilience, empowerment, and adventure.
I would say that's actually fair. That makes sense. That's all the kind of things I like, yeah.
And then I wrote for Sally, so I mean, hopefully she agrees if she's not in here in spirit. I said she enjoys creative storytelling, possibly a love of musicals and retro cinema, with a wee bit of playfulness, but yet stylish, indicating she might have an imaginative personality with an appreciation of nostalgia.
Makes sense, yeah.
And then, obviously, I wrote this one for me. Mine was like quirky but possibly nostalgic sense of humour, but enjoys cult classics. Although Howard the Duck is bizarre, offbeat film. I like oddball characters in a way. So yeah.
It all seems to make sense to me, mate. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty good interpretation. When you said that, I was thinking about all the stuff I do, like the D&D stuff, the books I read. It all tends to be kind of fantasy stuff that I like. I read because that's what I like. Nothing wrong with that.
Actually, thinking just off topic for the split second, I'm actually reading The Lord of the Rings.
Ooh,
Oh, mate, it's so good. I'm enjoying it more than the film.
really?
Yeah,
I've not read it for a long time. I remember there's a lot of like walking in that book.
don't spoil
Don't spoil the walking. But it's a beautiful book for like see world building and telling you about what's going on. Like it's got all that stuff. I think for like a more exciting book, your Game of Thrones stuff is more exciting and intriguing. But like I think it also Lord of the Rings kind of nails the kind of drudgery of being a hero as well. It's not like we go to the place, we kill the bad guys, and we do this stuff. It's like we have to get to the place, and getting to the place is really fucking hard because like you've got to like walk across 2,000 miles of ground. It's like that's difficult, and like it's absolutely worth it. Have you never read it before?
No, I'm getting more back into my reading. Like American Psycho, I had fucking, I think that kind of killed me halfway reading a bit because I didn't like that. So I just bought a few books. So I've got Lord of the Rings, I've got The Wizard of Oz and the Wicked to read.
Wow.
So I thought, you know what, I'll start Lord of the Rings. I was actually going to get that to read on the plane when I got to Thailand, but I was like, you know what, I kind of like, I want to read something new. I was like, you know what, I've got to start this new. If I enjoy it, then I might read all 8 books. Who knows?
What are the Wizard of Oz ones?
No, Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Lord of the Rings books. Yeah. Absolutely, man. It's well worth the read. It's a strong thing. It's just it's a hell of a read, and there's a lot of stuff. You're like, wow, there's a lot of just stuff in this. But yeah,
it's like I'm like, I'm only in chapter 2, but it's like fucking a chonka to read.
It definitely is. I was reading a book about spaceships. I love spaceships in space. It's the fall of the human race. They've got to go to a planet, and they tried to work out the planet, and they tried to like seed life in it, but they'd done it wrong. So what happened was they were trying to put monkeys on the planet that would become our servants, but they all died, and the virus that was meant to elevate them instead elevated spiders. So now it's a planet full of spider people, and I'm like, that is the scariest thing I could think of. I could not deal with that planet.
You know what? I'll recommend this a book, mate. Dog of War. Have you ever heard about that?
Don't know that one.
It's like mutant, but like in space. It's pretty good. It's like kind of maybe it's because it was my first kind of sci-fi book. Kind of maybe didn't like it because it's sci-fi-ish, but it's like basically like mutant in space.
I think that's. I mean, that's always my. It's. All the things I always gravitate towards are always just like I like humanity being on the verge of destruction. I always like the kind of something happened and we've got to deal with these problems. And I think it's because it's people coming together to overcome stuff. I love that.
Pretty much,
but yeah,
that'll be up your alley then because it's good for that sense.
I don't do nearly enough reading.
Get to it. New Year's resolution, mate.
Excuse me, my New Year's resolution is to get jiggity jacked. So I'll be doing that instead.
Fair enough.
But you know, I'm gonna try and read a bit more as well. Less games, more read.
And cut the Baldur's Gate.
I got so tripped up in that game, and that's why I've not actually wrote much more Mutant for us to play. Another thing I do, because I ended up playing Baldur's Gate non-stop, and then with my second playthrough, I've actually lost. Like, say if you're like, I played through it 9 times, I played through it once, and the second time I've kept I've stopped for like days at a time. Because I'm like, this seems a bit of a slog, actually.
Well, we'll cut this in now, and we can talk about it after the episode.
Right, cool.
But I want to say,
and what we do next?
We're going to do rom-coms.
I'm going to have to think of a rom-com, by the way, because I'm going to struggle with that.
I've got mine in mind already. I think maybe we've done it already as an episode with the old channel. Yeah, I'll write it in the group chat and you can remind me if I have.
Cool.
But I will come back just after Valentine's Day week.
Only a couple of weeks in.
Aye, so what is that? 3 weeks for now. So
Something like, I think it's the 14th of February, isn't it?
Aye, so we're the following week. We're that Thursday, whatever that is.
Cool.
So yeah, we've got the rom-coms just because it's during the shagging month.
Yeah. The month of Duck. Yep.
This is basically a new chapter for us to get this going. This will be our actual film podcast. It's our podcast now.
It's its own thing now. It's moved away, yes.
Yeah. And if anyone has comments to suggest on films, happy if we can see and all that sort of stuff. And that's pretty much it. And you got to say, Lee?
No, thanks to anyone that listens to this. We always do appreciate it. And yeah, well, things will be changing a little bit again. But, it'll all be fine. Miss Sally, she'll be back soon. Back next week. Next time.
Next time. That's it.
Cool. Bye.